Welcome to this preview of Eala versus Muchova, the fourth round of the 2026 Miami Open. This is a blockbuster matchup, and I want to say something bold right from the start. I believe this is the most defining match of Eala's career so far. Yes, she has beaten top seeds. She has taken down Swiatek, Gauff, Ostapenko, and Madison Keys. Those wins were extraordinary, but think of all those victories as previews to a great film. This match against Muchova, if Eala wins it, this is the opening act of the actual movie.
Why?
Because Muchova presents a challenge unlike anyone Eala has faced before. And if she can find a way through it, she will walk off that court with a new level of maturity and tactical understanding that no other win could have given her. Understanding the Czech puzzle before we get into the tactics, let us briefly address the so-called Czech curse, that 0-11 record Eala holds against Czech players. I do not believe in curses, but I do think I understand what is happening. Czech tennis has a deeply rooted tradition of producing players who are, for want of a better word, machines. Think of the lineage from Ivan Lendl through Tomáš Berdych and beyond. These players share a common identity. They do not necessarily do any single thing at the absolute peak of the sport, but they do everything at an extraordinarily high level. Every component is functional. Every aspect of the game is polished. There are no obvious gaps to exploit. Muchova fits that mold perfectly. If you were looking for a car analogy, she is a BMW. Impeccably maintained, supremely reliable, nothing wasted. Not a sports car built for a single explosive purpose, but a precision machine designed to function flawlessly across every road and every condition. What makes Muchova so difficult? Let us go through her game properly, because Eala and her team need to respect every dimension of it. Muchova's greatest strength, perhaps her defining quality, is her balance. Her footwork is exceptional in every phase of play. Moving forward onto a short ball, recovering from a defensive position, holding her ground in a neutral rally, she does all of it with efficiency that borders on effortless. Nothing in her movement is wasted. Everything serves a purpose. Her technique is close to textbook perfect. The forehand is strong. She can roll it cross-court with heavy topspin or flatten it out with pace and precision, depending on what the situation demands. The backhand is reliable and clean. And then there is her backhand slice, Federer-esque in its execution, kept low, skidding off the surface, offering opponents almost nothing to work with. She also has a net game. This is not something you can say about many WTA players in the modern era. Muchova is comfortable coming forward, finishing points at the net with volleys that are, frankly, exquisite. There are very few holes in her game, and experienced opponents who have tried to find them have generally come up empty. Her serve adds another layer of difficulty. She has a strong first delivery that she can place to any part of the box, and she uses a kick serve as her second, meaning even when she misses the first, she is still generating awkward bounce and forcing a difficult return. As a left-hander, Eala's cross-court forehand return will naturally take the kick serve back into a more manageable zone, which is worth noting. But Muchova may well counter with a slice second serve that stays low, and that could create real trouble. The bottom line, Swiatek has beaten Muchova comfortably in their recent meetings, but that is a uniquely bad stylistic matchup for the Czech player. Against almost everyone else, Muchova is formidably consistent and deeply dangerous. The core tactical problem here is the fundamental question this match poses. Eala's offense needs to beat Muchova's defense. That is the short version. Because the reverse, Muchova's offense against Eala's defense, is a matchup Eala will almost certainly lose. Muchova is precise. She is target-like in her placement. If she is allowed to dictate, she will find corners, create angles, and pick apart Eala's defensive limitations with the patience and accuracy of a surgeon. Eala's defense is above average. It will win her matches against lower-ranked opponents. Against a top 20 player of Muchova's caliber, it will not be enough. Eala has to be the aggressor. She has to impose her game. There is no passive path to victory in this match. Plan A, and why it may not be enough Eala's primary pattern, her Plan A, is to hammer the ball down the line on both wings, deep and with pace, forcing opponents to pop up a short ball that she can then punish with a winner. She also looks to attack second serves aggressively from the return position. Against most players, this works beautifully. The down-the-line balls are penetrating, deep, and powerful, and they consistently manufacture the short balls she feeds off. But here's my concern. Against Muchova, Plan A alone will not be sufficient. Muchova is too well-balanced, too solid in her defensive positioning, and too technically sound to be consistently broken down by straightforward power hitting. She will absorb those down-the-line shots, recover, and keep the ball deep. Plan A will not make a dent on its own. Eala needs a Plan B. And this is the tactical adjustment I would implement from the very first game rather than waiting to fall behind before making the change. Plan B, using the left hand here, is what Eala has not been using enough against Czech opponents, and what I believe is the key to unlocking this match. Her left-handedness. Specifically, the lefty forehand cross-court, directed into Muchova's backhand side. This is Muchova's relative weakness. She has a sound two-handed backhand, but when she is pulled wide and put on the defensive, she tends to resort to that slice rather than driving through the ball. And here is the critical detail. When Muchova goes to the defensive slice, that is the signal. That is the moment Eala must recognize as an invitation to attack. Eala has been handling the slice well recently. We saw it against Siegmund, who sliced relentlessly, dropped shots, low balls, everything designed to disrupt rhythm, and Eala managed it effectively. That experience directly applies here. The pattern I want to see is this. Lefty forehand cross-court to Muchova's backhand. Wait for the defensive slice and reply, then step in and strike a winner to the open court. That sequence, executed consistently, will create problems that no amount of Muchova's efficiency can neutralize. Coming forward, the second element of Plan B is net approaches. Muchova herself does this brilliantly. She will hit into a corner, see the opponent scrambling wide, and glide forward into a baseline approach. I want to see Eala doing the same thing. Hit the lefty forehand cross-court to put Muchova in difficulty, anticipate the defensive reply, and come forward to volley into the open court. Move through the ball rather than waiting at the baseline for the next exchange. Eala has the hands for this. She has demonstrated clean volleying ability when she chooses to use it. In this match, she needs to choose it more regularly and more purposefully than we have seen from her before. The big question, all of this comes down to one thing. Can Eala shift gears? As an Eala fan, I would love to watch her dismantle Muchova 6-2, 6-2 in straight sets. But as an analyst, I have to be honest, that scenario feels unrealistic. Muchova is too good, too balanced, too complete a player to be steamrolled by Plan A alone. What I am looking for is adaptability. Can Eala move away from her default patterns mid-match and execute something different against a different kind of opponent? Can she use her left-handedness as a weapon rather than a fact about her game? Can she come to the net with conviction and finish points she might previously have left to continue from the baseline? She has the tools. The forehand cross-court is there. The return of serve is elite. The volleys are capable. The question is whether she can trust a different game plan in the biggest match of her career so far.